what is going wrong and how I'm trying to solve it. So very simple setup. I'm going to be doing an interview, and the interviewer says, I want the interviewee who is sitting here to be able to see me. So that's pretty simple. You would just get the Zoom and put it right here, and they would be able to see the other person talking. Now, the added on top of that is the interviewer says, but I also want to see what the camera's seeing. So that's not too difficult either. We would just take the HDMI out, go into the Elgato Cam Link, straight into the Zoom call so that they could see it and hear it. The issue is, how do I get this picture onto here? How do I get that Zoom call to come to here? If you're a modern Apple user, you would say, ding, 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 you just use Sidecar. It's a native thing, screen mirroring. You can take this screen and throw it to another Apple device. The problem is when you are a guy who's always on production, you put all of your money into equipment that revolves around production. You stopped putting it into post-production a long time ago. Therefore, you have a 2015 MacBook Pro that is still trucking, perfect, no reason to upgrade except it stopped receiving the modern updates. I get, software updates, that's fine, but it cannot sidecar this image to another Apple device. Same thing. I got this for free from a client. It's a 4th gen. It needs to be 6th gen. So I'm kind of out of luck, and the shoot is tomorrow morning, and I've been racking my brain the whole day trying to see, is there apps that I can use to send it over here? What's the workflow? And time is like really ticking down. They expedited shipped me an IFB so that whatever source I can pull audio from, which will most likely be here, the person here can put this in their ear and listen to exactly what the other person is saying. But I still have yet to figure out how do I get picture from there to there to there. You gotta love having friends. So went to my buddy's house, picked up a new MacBook Pro, a new iPad, the connector cables, and I should be good. And the client required a test call, so I finally got everything up and running at 9:45 p.m. More tinkering on the menu first at a later date, but the rods go out too far. They cover the iPad, so I could either cut some of these off, buy shorter ones, move the map box forward. There's a couple different Tetris ways to make it work, but for tonight, I'm done. 8:30 a.m. call time. I got more than enough room in this Subaru BRZ. And if you guys have been following, I finally have reached the next chapter, hopefully the last chapter of the cart diaries. So I'm gonna move on from the plastic Olympia cart. I posted on my story, there's a guy making a metal one in Korea. If anybody gets that, let me know, because it looks beautiful, lightweight, big casters. They even have rubber tires on some of them. But my Addy cam that I purchased from B&H, it was 10% off on Black Friday, should be arriving in 2 to 4 weeks. And I'm hoping it makes this load out, load in process a little easier. These hooks are a new addition. I just pulled them off my closet, but it's really nice to hang something. I can even hang my tripod here. These big Orlando resorts are great, but it just takes so long to get from the self-parking to the lobby. The front desk lady was so confused. She's like, oh, I don't have you in the system. And I was like, no, I should be in there. And she realized, oh, you were supposed to check in yesterday. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, but you're checking out today? Yeah, at 12:30. She just looked at me like, what are you gonna do here for 3 hours? All right, this is our setup. It's always fun to walk in and see what you have to work with. Let's throw some lights on. Let's see here. Come on. Why is that not? All right, oh, it's chained together. I gotta take that off.
You got some practicals. You know, most of the time they don't want it to look like you are in a hotel room, so it's often trying to fight the corner of this bed so that this is not in frame. And I was instructed we want a straight on angle. The problem with this is when you're straight on, you can see all of my lights that would be here, so you might have to do something like this, but then again, that looks horrible. Another common one is having the chair here-ish, kind of like that. It's also a really dreary day, so I won't have to use as much firepower in the lights, but we will see the view, and the view doesn't look great.
This is why I'm always talking about how fast can I be while on set. That's one of the reasons why I got this Shimoda bag. It's linked in the description, I think, and this is the purpose. We pull it out, and we put it in, and we waste no time, and I can begin working rather than putting things together, tightening things. All that stuff was done last night, and I don't have to redo it again here. That's why I love these doctor bags. They are so perfect. A little expensive, and there's some more expensive ones, but this comes with wheels, and I don't really get any bags now that don't have wheels.
Got my key light up. I think this is the frame we're gonna use. The only thing is I don't like the little white that is peeking out, and I tried hiding it behind this, and it keeps coming right away, so I'm just gonna gaff tape this to cover that. This is my new LED panel light from Gina Ray. It's called the Bright Beast. It's bright. It's not as bright as I would thought, but that's okay. The main reason I got it was for portability when I need a battery operated light and I don't want to have like the ballast of a 300D or 600D. I like the 200X because it just has that little power thing, but not an actual ballast that I need to take time to clamp. And that is what I love about these is it just has the yoke right here and the mount, and I can just grab it and put it on a stand. Even if the stand is way too small for it, that'll probably be the next purchase, but it's just super fast, clean light. I really like the one handle, so I can go like this. I bought the barn doors with it. It's usually always a good call. And I'm gonna raise this up, shoot it up into the white ceiling, get some room fill. It's a really good option if you're just looking for something different than the single chip lights. I've burned myself so many times where I set up the frame, it's a bright sunny day, it looks perfect, clouds come in, and then it shows all the reflections of the lights that I didn't see. So now I do that by turning on the ND and rolling it way up, adding a lot of ND, and that way I can see any hot spots, and there isn't any here. It's actually way above. It's kind of hitting up in that panel, which is nowhere near our frame, but that saves me because normally in the middle of the interview, I'm freaking out because I'm trying to think, is the hot spot here enough to stop the interview? Is the client going to get mad? Is it something that I'm really not going to want to send over? And so I just have this pre-thought now of get the lights off to the side, darken it, and check for any hotspot reflections. What is it? Life imitates art. In this case, it's going to be art imitates life because the sun is popping through, and I really like this backlight hair light, but that's not going to last. It's about to go away. However, I do like that hair light, so I think I'm just going to add one here and hit them as if it was the sun because it looks really nice.
Why it's garnered a lot of attention.
Once I had picture up, the client said they didn't like all the vertical lines in the window, so we just panned a little bit to the left and shot into that corner. And honestly, the frame looks great. You don't have to deal with the wild card of the window and stuff passing by. And we just have that soft 200X with the lantern doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. Honestly, I was really happy to see how it looked. And then the interviewer was actually zooming in from New York. I forgot what they were talking about, but I was looking at the two frames and I was like, oh, this looks like one of those two broadcasty two shots that you see on TV. So I was really happy with how it came out.
Of course, I can't show too much, but the way the light wrapped around the cheekbones with no hot spots on the forehead, it came out really nice. And she had glasses, but they were flat, not the bug eye ones, which makes a huge difference for reflections. And I actually did ask her assistant before if she was going to have them. So besides that, we are in chill mode. All of the stress is gone, and the interview is just happening. I forgot my sandbags, so had to use my backpack with a backup laptop in it, and had to play a little bit of some puzzle Tetris with the stands. It was kind of hard. I know they have flat stands that can lay against the ground for the lightweight stands, but I don't know if I like those. And the IFB came out of the laptop. That is a MacBook Pro from somewhere around 2018-19, but it's the one where they had only 2 USB-Cs in there. And I remember having my 2015 MacBook Pro and saying, you took away HDMI, MagSafe, SD card reader, all of the stuff that I would use when I'm portable, and now I have to get a dongle, and that's why I didn't buy a new one. Now that the recent ones have added all those exact same things back, I at least feel okay if I do need to purchase a new MacBook Pro. But that was wild that Apple did that.
Yeah. And somehow
Last bit of B-roll was the subject just walking down, so it was really nice to be able to put it in face and eye only autofocus. That way, as they came closer, you know, the background is getting more and more blurry, and then when they head out, the focus does not jump to the back. It just stays blurry. It's a nice, soft way to end the clip, rather than eye focus, and then boom, back to the background. So small little things like that make a big difference for me. And this sign just ruined the shot, so I threw it around there. Don't know if I'm allowed to, but just needed to adjust it for a couple minutes. This worked really well. And I just want to say how much fun I'm having with this YouTube channel. It's just a side passion project, but it's leading me into benefits for my career, and I didn't see that coming. I've been doing it for a year and a half. It took 10 months to get to 1,000 subscribers, and just in the last few months, that's ramped up to 4,000. And just following that kind of Gary V mentality, document, don't create. It's a lot more fun to watch someone go through problems than have them preach at you. And I'm just going to keep doing this because I know I can already see how many opportunities it's going to open up for me. Nice cart. Arrived at 8:30. We're leaving at 12:30. Still a full day, full corporate day rate, which I will do that over and over again. But see, this is why you only want 2 360-degree spinning wheels, because when you're going downhill, it doesn't go straight. And when you're going uphill, sometimes it'll swerve too. So it's just nicer when 2 wheels are locked and 2 wheels can swivel.